Good afternoon to the viewers of the live stream, whether you're watching live or after it saves as a live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Nothing really new. I think we're in the closing stages of all of this, honestly. I don't see how much longer this is going to go. So we'll have, I think the plan here, I think the plan is going to be we'll finish out the week, and then next Friday I think we'll call it till the bear market plays out. Because there's really nothing happening. We're just going sideways. So we've already discussed pretty much everything there is to discuss. I think this chart paints a clear picture as to what's going on. If you compare it to Bitcoin, it doesn't look like that, but this you could see it's still bearish. Question is, how long are we going to sit here for? And I don't know. You know, we could sit here for another month. We could. Could just sit here for a month. Today's not the biggest day. It's something. I want to see what the 5-day stock RSI looks like by the end of the day. I wonder if it's still going to be overbought. I think we want it to be overbought. I think we want it to be overbought because then the next 5 days could be neutral, and then we can cross down and then get it over with. I think if it crosses down now, that's not really good because then we could go up, we could go down. You know? Like we crossed here, but we still went up. I would rather us go up and then cross. The bear bunker canceled? No, I think I'm going to go my bear bunker next Friday. We've discussed pretty much everything there is to discuss, I think. I think we're waiting on this final rotation from overbought to oversold. I just don't know. It should be soon, and that's what it looks like. That's why I hope it goes up because then we could go sideways for 5 days and then go down from August to the bottom. That's what we're setting up for. Uh, Yeah, this might be the first time in the entire bear market that we actually get a red dot on BNB. We haven't gotten one, only to mark the beginning of the bear market. That was it. The next downturn is going to trigger a red dot. You already got one on the smaller time frame, 23 hour, right here. Oh, actually, yeah. I don't see how this goes on for much longer. I do know that it could take longer than I wanted it to, or I wanted to, which is why I'm prepared for it to just do nothing, but I don't think this is going to go on for that much longer. Normally when this happens, you're getting pretty close to the end, you know? I mean, even right here, the Bitcoin top was already in. We had one more spike and then it was done. So we're getting there. We didn't quite... Oh, we did get it for Ethereum back here. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't notice that. We don't have it for Bitcoin though, so you still always have that chance that it just gets a one more little scam spike, especially with how bullish the stock market is. There's always that possibility it comes up and then goes down. I think this could be what we're waiting for. It might be required to go down. I'm starting to be open to the possibility that it's required. Because why else would we just be sitting here? You know? It may be required to go down. But I remember a lot of people were saying Bitcoin divided by gold. I actually looked at that chart today and it looks like it's going to make another low. Like, this is bad, man. Look at this. This is some gnarly shit that's about to go down. Good luck. If it's bearish, we go down. If it's bullish, it doesn't do anything. As you can see, it happened here, and nothing happened. But ever since 2024, it's been bearish when it happens. We got Craig Coates in the chat. Welcome. Griot, Mr. Dropco, Smash Toshi. What's up, folks? We got Mr. Meowasis in the chat. Nights of Insomnia. We got Chris, Gunga Galunga, Eat My Shorts, Richard Desmond, Tagzilla. I'm not disappointed that it's happening this way. I wish I would have been open to it more, where we just do nothing until September. Either way, I think it's bearish. It's just I was kind of hoping we would have hit that short-term realized price by now. What are you gonna do? It auto-corrected to folks. Oh, I started saying folks because Garrett Soloway says folks. Good morning, folks. You got wrecked on Pump Fun? It's good to see you're still gambling, man. Keeps the soul alive. Gotta keep gambling. Tether's not giving us any kind of signal, unfortunately. It's still kind of just floating here. It would be nice if Tether broke down. The fact they let Cosmos slow rally without volume says it all. They let Cosmos slow rally? What does that mean? Nah, Cosmos just made another low. It's just having a retracement. This thing's bearish. Sideliners and shorts are going to FOMO in hard. I'm really starting to think we got to hit that short-term realized price. I think that's what we're waiting for. It's ultra bearish in my opinion because the S&P is literally going to 800 and we still can't go up. But I think what could be at play here is we're waiting for the NASDAQ to make a new all-time high, just like at the top, where the NASDAQ made a new high, Bitcoin spiked up, and then we went down. Same thing happened here. The NASDAQ spiked up, we spiked up, and then we went down. That could be what's happening here, where the NASDAQ has to make a new all-time high. That triggers the spike, and then we go down. Because we got everything else. The momentum is setting us up for that. We already passed our Moonboy chart. It's like we're waiting for the moment where people actually think it's bullish. Like, people say they think it's bullish, but some people don't believe it. I think getting to that short-term realized price will make people believe it's actually bullish. I think that's what we're waiting for. The fact that it has come down so much, I mean, back here, we were looking for much higher. But now look at how far it's come down. It went from 68,000 all the way down to it might even be 65. We might even just go back to where we were just 2 to 5 to 10 days ago, just to get back, and then it goes down. I know we already discussed this, but it happened in both prior bear markets. You kind of just did nothing. You spiked up and then went down. Here you did the same thing. You did nothing, spiked up, and then went down. That might be what we're waiting for. I really don't have anything else to draw. So it's the only missing piece from my analysis that's like kind of holding everything up. If we would have been here, if we would have tagged it here, I would have been bearish by now, but my gut tells me this shit has to get tagged. Like, I guess it doesn't have to get tagged. It's just, why else are we sitting here? You know, if it was actually bullish, we'd be going up by now because the S&P is going up. I think the fact that we're sitting here is not bullish because we would be going up, but we're not going down either, so it's not bearish. It's neutral. But because we're in a bear market, it's bearish, but by the way that it looks, I think we might be waiting for the QQQ to make a new all-time high, which may be very soon. Right? We're right there. It's like probably in the next couple of days even, maybe. Maybe we get that little spike, people actually believe it's bullish, and then it's bearish. That's the only thing I could think of. Is we got the FOMC, we got the stock RSI, we got the Moonboy event. Everything is in the favor to roll over. We're waiting for the trigger, and we don't have it yet. Right? The S&P made it, or the QQQ made a new high here. We spiked up to the realized price, then we collapsed. QQQ made a new all-time high here. Or I guess it almost did. Oh, it was a lower high. We already had spiked up and then we went down. Now we're about to make a new all-time high. So that's the only thing I could think of. I mean, if this makes a new all-time high and we still don't go up, then maybe we are just going to sit here until the middle of September and then go down. I think that would be my other explanation. It's the only explanation, is we're just going to sit here until September and then go down. $50K is the bottom. Oh, I got a $10 super chat. We got Danish for 10 says, you said you were looking for a Tyrone candle. What did you mean by that? I appreciate the 10, man. That is awesome. Yeah, so I'm looking for a big Tyrone. I'm looking for a Tyrone 18 plus candle. So essentially what happens is we sit here and we sit here and we sit here. And then all of a sudden Tyrone barges in and all hell breaks loose. I think that's what we're waiting for. This is the first bear market we don't have a Tyrone candle. Some people would argue that's what this was. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. You need that one candle where it's like, oh my God, we don't have it. And the thing that's interesting is every time you get that candle, we go down to the negative nupal. We haven't done that yet. But we're sitting right on the level that breaks right when you go down to that level, which is the negative nupal. We're sitting right on it. See, every time we break the 2-month super trend, we get a Tyrone candle. We didn't break it. We're sitting on top of it. So I think it's next. And the longer that we sit here, the more probable it becomes that it's just going to be a big Tyrone candle. Because the longer you sit here, the more you get the Bollinger Band percentile to print candles. We're going to get another blue bar next week. So now you're going to have two blue bars, very similar to what happened here. The thing is, I can't assume that it has to be 2 or 3 bars, right? If you're bullish, this is your argument. I have to concede that maybe we do just sit here like this. I can't say I want this to happen. If it does, so be it. I'm not gonna like cry about it because we'll know it's bearish. But I wish I would have been more open to it in the beginning. I think I got a little bit excited that we were gonna have the top by now, and now it's starting to look like we might just sit here, which is fine, right? As long as you can pivot, there's nothing wrong with that. But that's what it looks like. It looks like we're just gonna float until we hit this, and then we're gonna go down. Because now there's really no time left. Now you're saying September all the way to here. You're asking for like the crash of all crashes, which if it comes to this point, I think most people would rule this out. You can't tell me that everybody's looking for this. There's no way. If we're still here at the end of August, I think most people would argue the bottom is in. I would probably say we might not go as low as I anticipated. But at the same time, it depends on how long it takes to actually get back down to the low. Because if we just sit here and then by the end of August we flush down to the low, then we're in the sweet spot to go right down to 42,000. It's only 26%. And each of the moves this bear market, once you broke the low, that's how big they were. 24% and 28% almost. Well, I'm measuring it to this. So we might just sit here, but as long as we can get back to the low by the end of August, or maybe even the first couple of days of September, it only takes 2 to 3 weeks to go down. So it's almost like we're going to get a Tyrone candle at this point. But I can't rule this out either. We come up one last time and then go down. I think that's what the market's waiting for. It's happened every single time we've ever gone down. You had it here. You had it here. You had it multiple times in 2018, even right here. So it looks like the S&P is not going back to the 200-week moving average, which is tragic. But what are you going to do? Stock boys win again. But that would be the Tyrone candle. But I appreciate the 10, man. Chris, for 41 months, I appreciate the sub. He says we've been getting Asian candles. Can you pull up the Bollinger Bands on time frames? That's pretty much what the BBWP is. It's the same thing. It's a Bollinger Band with percentile. It lets you know how condensed they are. It just makes it easier to read. I never actually use Bollinger Bands. Because I guess it's like, it's not really compressed on the weekly. But on the daily it is. I don't really know how to read this. I guess when you get squeezed like this, it means a big move's about to come. Yeah, I guess when you get squeezed like this on the daily, big move's about to come. But that was the conclusion we already made with the Bollinger Band percentile, which again, it's the Bollinger Band. It's the same thing. It's just the other one I think is easier to read. But yeah, we're getting very compressed in here. It looks like the monthly Bollinger Band just pivoted down. But we don't really have consistent data. We can't really make any type of inference with that. Yeah. Sometimes it's bullish, sometimes it's bearish. Oh, that's interesting. It looks like on the 10-day time frame, you stay below it in a bear market, right? This one you stayed below it. This one you stayed below it. And this one you stayed below it. That's interesting. Yeah, this is... Oh, wow, look at that. That's a tight squeeze, man. That's a tight fucking squeeze. Yeah, whichever way we come out of this, it's going straight up or straight down. I really think so. It's a tight squeeze. But it's pretty much the same thing as the Bollinger Band percentile. It just prints blue bars instead. But that's why, look at all the blue bars we have. That's why it's so squeezed. The thing is, there's no law that says we have to do this now. We could get even more squeezed, which is why if this does play out, it is definitely possible. But I'm going to assume we're going to like do like 2018, which even if it's not like 2018, you can even see these little time frames from February 3rd to this isn't even a month worth of price action. We went down 36%. So that's why us doing this doesn't mean we can't go lower. I think it actually increases the probability that we go lower. I personally just wasn't prepared for sideways until September. Which is still, it's not September yet. We'll see what happens. Personally, I'm prepared for this. I thought we would go down by the end of August, get one more, which I guess is technically still sideways, and then break. I never thought the actual breakdown would be until September. But I also thought that we would have tagged the realized price by now, the short-term realized price, and then we'd be going down. But for me personally, as long as we're back near the low by the end of August or early September, like September 3rd or something like that, then we're fine. Because God knows how many bars this is going to print, which means you're really either going to go straight up or straight down. And like we already said, if we break the low, I'll probably measure it from the close. If we just look at what happens when we break the low, you can just see it was January 28th and then February 6th. We fell by 27%. So if we could just see Bitcoin go back to 59,000 before September 1st or 3rd or somewhere around there, 27% from that point is 43,000. And that's strictly using this market cycle. It's not even using the other market cycles. Same thing here. You broke the low and you went down by 25%. So for me, I'm not sad or disappointed that it's doing this. Overall, I'm content because I personally, this is what we need to see in order to go down. I just wasn't mentally prepared for the high probability that we would just sit here until September. I thought maybe August we would see something, which again, it's still August, which means we could still go down. But I was hoping we would have hit the realized price by now, which was 67,000, and we never tagged it. Because now you have that predicament where it is starting to turn bearish up here. So it's like, well, what are we waiting for? I don't know. We might be waiting for the realized price. Do we have to hit it? No. Would I run around screaming, holy shit, we're about to go up? Probably not, because you're supposed to be going up now. That's the point. If we were actually bullish, we would be going up right now. And we're not. And this can't stay up here forever. It stayed up here for a long time, but look at what the price was climbing. We're not doing anything. And if you go back to the other market cycles, it's like you can see once you hit overbought, you shot up. When you stay up here and it doesn't move, you could stay up here for a little while, but it ultimately turns bearish. And I think what I said in this morning's video really helped paint the picture, because if you go back to all prior bear market bottoms, the move up came once you hit overbought. It's a true statement. That's exactly what we're forming right now. So if it's going to be like every other market cycle and the bottom is in, then we're supposed to be going up very, very, very shortly. Like very shortly. Which is why I have to respect, maybe we just sit here for another couple of weeks, which wasn't what I was looking for originally, but I can't make the market move, right? You see how we hit overbought, nothing happened, and then we went down again? You can't have an overbought stock RSI and nothing happens. It only stays overbought when you go up. And then when it gets tired, it rolls over. So the fact that we're overbought right now, again, this is the environment at a bear market bottom. You go from oversold to overbought with the BBWP bars, which is why if you're bullish, you want to see the price climb, because if it doesn't, you're literally invalidating all the prior bear markets. And people are already invalidating the 4-year cycle by saying the bottom is in. So if they're going to invalidate the 4-year cycle and they're going to invalidate the momentum that always sends us up, then what are you basing your bottom off of? You know, I think you have to keep the data consistent. You can't just pick and choose. If you want to say the 4-year cycle's broken, fine. Stock RSI from oversold to overbought, bullish. Stock RSI from oversold to overbought, bullish. If that's also wrong, then why is the bottom in? Because it's time to go up? Because you don't want to wait? I understand. I did the same thing last time. I don't want to wait. But the bottom wasn't in. So I think if you're bullish, there's nothing wrong with that. I see it. I literally laid it out for you. This is your chance to be bullish. The thing is, though, today we get another 5-day candle. So I'm personally hoping it does hit overbought again, because now you're really bullish. If we hit overbought again, it's like, holy shit, we're bullish. And we might actually be waiting for that spike to where people say, I told you so, and then we go down. We never got that. We got almost everything we asked for except for the I told you so. We talked about Ethereum getting stuck at the top, right? Where it does this box thing. We talked about BNB pumping towards the end, where it's like, okay, when BNB pumps, you're getting close to the top. We don't actually have a top signal yet, but typically when BNB comes up here, that's where the top of the rally is. Right? The top was here. The top, Bitcoin actually topped here, believe it or not, on this one right here. Maybe the top is already in, but what are we waiting for? Why aren't we going down? We got the BNB pump. We talked about Shiba and Floki. We specifically said Floki, but we're open to Shiba. Shiba pumped. We got the Harry Potter Obama Inu pump. We got pretty much everything we were looking for. The only thing that we're missing is that short-term hold to realized price. And I'm not going to, I forgot to mention, which I briefly just did, we also got the 5-day stock RSI. I actually didn't think they were going to do it, but it's here. They did. Who's they? Just the market in general. It's just easier to say they. Like, I didn't think it would actually happen, but it is. We're in it right now. So it's like, well, if this was fake bullish and this was fake bullish and this was actually bullish, then what is this? It's either fake bullish or actually bullish. We got this. We got everything we asked for. That's why I'm like kind of out of shit to say. The only thing that's making me think we might not go down is this short-term hold to realized price. So could we do this? Everyone says, I gotcha, I told you so. That would be the trigger to send us lower. It could be. We could be sitting here waiting for that. I have to be open to it. But everything else says we should have gone up by now. Buy in before the train leaves. What is this indicator? I like it, not the stocks. The Bollinger Band? Didn't I ban this guy? Chadwick Bailey. Did he make another account? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, we can't. Well, we can. I don't want to say we can't, but I don't really think we're gonna sit here for that much longer. Yeah, I don't see it. See, but when you sat up here in 2024, look at what happened. We went up. We're not going up. We're just sitting here. Even in 2023, when we had overbought, we went up. Look at what happens when you just sit here, fucking bearish. I don't think we could just sit here for much longer, man. I really don't think we could sit, like, I don't think we can sit here for much longer. Look at that shit. And that's why when I put Bitcoin divided by SPY on the chart, well, I guess it's technically QQQ, it's already crossed down. Oh, wow, even on the weekly. The other ones are still bullish, though. Oh, no, the Dow crossed down, too. Oh, they all crossed down. Yeah, I don't know. This is telling me we're bearish. I just don't know when we're supposed to go down. But technically, according to basically everything I have, we should have hit max bullish already. Which means now we're in the closing stages of max bullish. And it goes from max bullish to max bearish instantly. That's why my hands are tied. Like, I want to say we should hit the realized price at 66K, but we're getting to that point where the bears are starting to come back into control. Even though the actual price action doesn't support that yet, when we go down, you don't even get a chance to confirm it. It just goes down. Like back in January, we never had the, oh wait, maybe it's bearish now. You literally topped and then it just went straight back down to the bottom. And then by then it was too late. You already went, it was time to go down. The trap closed. This is what I'm referring to here. Like when you're here, it's like, all right, maybe it's bearish, maybe it's bullish. When you're up here, it's like, holy shit, we're bullish. But once it comes back down, the trap is shut. There's no escaping. And then you go down. Right now, the trap is still open. You know? The trap only shuts once you ever see Saw 2? Remember in Saw 2? I'm not gonna say spoiler alert, but the movie's fucking 20 years old. When the guy climbs into the little oven and he pulls on the little pin and it shuts the door behind him and he cooks alive. That's what this is. We're dangling above the short-term realized price. Once we tag this, you're in the oven and you grab the key. And then once it comes back down, the trap door shuts and that's it. It's barbecue chicken. I can't tell you that the trap is closed because we never got the trap in the first place. This was never bullish to begin with. There's no indication that we're bullish. In the prior bear market bottoms, we at least attempted to hit the short-term realized price. But again, you hit it and then you went down. Here, if you want to say we're here, then I agree with you. The momentum says we should go up right now. That's why if we don't go up now, that's not where we are. Here, you hit it, but then you got above it and then you went up. We never hit it yet. So even in the bear market bottom, you hit it. We didn't hit it. We didn't do anything. So you're speculating that this is the bottom. And I'm speculating that the bottom is not in. But I can't tell you it's time to go down because we never hit that trap. And you always do. That's what I'm trying to say. You always hit that trap door where it's like, oh my God, it's actually bullish, right? And then the trap door closes, or I guess the trap door opens, as they would say, the trap door. I'm saying the trap as in like the bear trap or bull trap or whatever. Like, I'm not saying trap as in like, oh, it's a bear trap or bull trap. I'm trying to use the actual analogy. Like if you set a mouse trap and you put the little peanut butter on it, we got to grab the peanut butter before the trap can shut. We haven't done anything. I don't know if we have to grab the peanut butter. Normally you do every single time, actually. The mouse grabs the peanut butter before the trap shuts, right? Even, even here. Oh, bottoms in, bottoms in, bottoms in. We're bullish. Holy shit, we're bullish. Trap door shuts down. It could be the missing piece. Could we also go like this? Then this starts to come down. Then we go like this and then go down. That's also possible. That's what I would prefer because if we come down here, then we know it's bearish. I'm seeing YouTubers say we're going to come down here and be bullish. I mean, everything's bullish, right? The bottom was here. The bottom was here. The next one's going to be the bottom. It's tough. You know, like I look at this and I'm like, what's the difference between these two? What's the difference? There's nothing. This is actually making lower highs too. So it's tough. It's a tough call. Tough call. MSTR says it's time to go down starting next week. So what are we waiting on? I don't know. We got Christopher 5 says the monthly Bollinger Band, it looks like every time we come down and hit the band or get close, we go straight up. I appreciate the 5 from Mr. Chris. We've got the Bollinger Bands. He says on the monthly, it looks like every time we come down and hit the band or get close, we go straight up. When we hit what band? This one? The last time we hit it was here and we went lower. Yeah, that was the only time we came close to it. I'm not sure what you mean. But I appreciate the 5. But I'm not sure what you're referring to. We only tagged this lower band one time in history. I don't know. Am I supposed to be using this on like linear? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't run around saying that's the most bullish thing I've seen. I have seen it before, which some of you have too. Like we've seen 30 days go by and the price just nukes. Like everyone uses dumbass terminology like dumping, nuking, crashing when they're looking at the 4-hour chart. Like when you actually get a nuke, you know, like you see it. Like in 2022, we didn't see it, we didn't look for it, but it was there. Like it's like, holy shit. It looks like the market is just throwing up. We haven't had that yet. We had like a little bit of a barf session, but we didn't break the low. This one was a little miniature one, but again, you really didn't go much lower. And then you came right back to that price. We got to get to the point where the market is like throwing up to where you never come back. And the fact that we're just sitting here doing nothing, it looks like if that keeps happening, it's going to end up like this, where nothing is happening, and then the market throws up. And what's interesting is if you look at this chart, you have even lows across the board. And then here, you have even lows across the board. But if you go on the SPY chart, you don't have that. Not there. Oh, I guess it is. Even though this is clearly a lower low here. But I wonder, do you have that lower low on 2022 as well? Oh yeah, you do actually. Okay, so they were the same. I think it was 2018 then that it wasn't the same. Where the low is in here and then you come back to the floor. But if you go to the SPY chart, it's not there. It's just bearish. See? We're significantly lower here. That's how it is now. Like there's no double bottom. You're just bear. I mean, you even back tested it as resistance too. It's bearish. I think we're bearish here, man. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I didn't realize we back tested it as resistance. Yeah, the Bitcoin divided by SPY chart doesn't paint the same picture as the regular chart, but it didn't in 2018 either. You made consistent lower highs and lower lows. That's what's happening now. There's no bounces, it's just lower lows. Unfortunately, it's not as clean. I can't really draw a trend line, but you can see. So the question is, are we already bearish or is there one more move up? And I don't know the answer to that. I don't. I have enough evidence to suggest we should go down now. The problem is the historical evidence says you should hit that realized price. So I can't really tell you I have a definite answer. I still think the overall answer is we are going lower. I just don't know if we have to hit a certain price first or if we don't. Because I like to use historical reference points to make a guess, and I don't have a reference point to use where Bitcoin went down to the bottom without hitting the realized price. It's never happened before. So I have to stick to what I always say, and I always use historical data points, and you can, as we've marked it over and over again now, in this bear market, we've always hit it before going down. 2022, you hit it here and here. And you even tagged it up here too. And then in 2018, you tagged it a bunch of times before going down. And then again here. So I'm saying to myself, well, what are we waiting for? We might be waiting for this. Which is why I keep saying the same thing. I wish it was here because everything said it should be here and it wasn't. Well, it didn't say it should be here, but it would be nice if it would be. Like it said if it was going to be here, it would have been bearish. But the fact that it wasn't, now I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Do we have to come up here? It would line up with history, yes. Can we go down and then come up and then go down? That's technically not impossible. That's what happened in 2022. We didn't quite hit it. We rolled over, came back up, and then went down, you know? So could it also be we roll over, this starts to really come down, then we get another bounce in September, and then go down? That's actually what I was looking for personally. So, I mean, if that's what happens, that's great. That works. That's the best case scenario. Because if we take this low and people say the bottom is in again, then they're just asking to lose all their money. It's like we're 98% complete. We're like 98% ready to go down. It's that missing little straw. A splinter, I guess it's called. The splinter under my nail. A thorn in my side. I don't even know how the saying is. May of 2022, it didn't hit. Yeah, but May of 2022, yeah, it did. You hit it here. This was not the bear market bottom. This one is. We don't have much. We're not in May of 2022. There's not enough time for that. We only have like 2 months left, maybe 3. Don't get me wrong, there's more than enough time to come down here. I just don't know when that is. It might just be the whole month of September, and then that's it. This scenario makes the most sense if you want the short time realized price to hit. It's not that I want it to hit. I'm not trying to be biased. I am only looking at what has always happened. That's all I've done this whole market cycle. I can't tell you something that's never happened before. That would make me like, that's like saying the bottom is in. It's never happened before. Can we go down? Of course. Can the bottom be in? Doesn't support history, but neither does going down. We kind of have to hit this first. But that's why if this happens, it's going to suck now that it took so long. But shit, if this happens, holy shit. There's no... See, but then I draw it like this and I start getting excited. Like, dude, there's literally no time left. If we go like this and it comes back down, you now have 30 days to go from 62,000 all the way down to wherever we're going. It would have to look exactly like this. And some people think that's not possible. And I can tell you that if we got this in August, even I would be a little shocked. Like, I can't believe it took this long. But people will say, that's it, we can't go lower now. Because we're so late in the market cycle. But that's what happens. You tag it, and then 30 days later, you're literally banished into the shadow realm. This one was, I guess, a little longer than 30. It was 60. This one was 30 for sure. Oh, wow. I mean, technically it was 30, but I guess it was 40. I was 40. That's okay. 40 days later. So if we do nothing and then at some point in August we just spike up, I wasn't looking for that originally. I was looking for the spike to be in July. I thought the spike would be in July or early August, actually. I thought it would have been this week, personally. That's why I'm a little bit disappointed that it wasn't. I thought it was going to be this week. But I have to respect that maybe it's at the end of the month. Do we have to hit it? Could we go like this? I mean, sure. I just don't have historical evidence to back that up. Could we go like this and then bounce? I think that is also very possible. Because if we came down here, bounce, then people will say the bottom is in again. Look, triple bullish divergence. Then you're really fucking bearish. Because now you have even more people saying the bottom is in. The reason why I don't know if this is necessarily favorable is because of the Bollinger Band percentile. It's kind of screaming at us like, dude, you don't really... I'm trying to find an analogy for this. It's like... What's a good analogy? I guess it's like a chick egg. Like, you know how the chick eggs are very fragile? Like, once you break the shell, it just pops. It goes straight down. So we really can't move that much until it's time to go down, or if you're bullish, time to go up. That's why people who say we're going to go up or we're going to go down first and then up, that's not really I mean, unless it happens in literally 3 days, so the Bollinger Band doesn't move. We went like this and then popped right back up. That's exactly what I'm saying, but on the upside down. Because I actually think this is going to trigger the Bollinger Band percentile to move. That's what happened back in January. The Bollinger Band percentile actually started moving when we went up, but because we were bearish, it went straight down after that. Yeah, I thought we had a Bollinger Band here. It's not here. Was it on this? Oh, no, it was the weekly, yeah. You know, you see how we had these blue bars and then when we actually went up, it went away? That's what I'm kind of looking for. I just thought it would have happened by now. But that's what I'm saying. If we spiked up to 66K or 67K this late, I think a lot of people would actually say the bottom is in. I mean, there's a decent amount of people that are saying the bottom is in, but I think even I underestimated that it would take much longer than anticipated, which is good. Not for me, but that's the market telling you we got to get everybody off sides. But I'm not off sides. I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching. Because a lot of bear tubers are saying we have to go down in August too, but we don't have to go down in August. We just can't go up. So if we don't go up in August, technically you're still fitting the bear market criteria. And it's still technically ultra bearish because you're going to print another blue WWE. You're going to print another blue BBW candle, which means the move is going to be even larger, which then you have the Moon Boys saying, holy shit, we're forming a bottom. You have the Perma Bears saying, holy shit, we're about to go straight down. But you're not going to know until the very last second, which is why it's like tedious. Could that be what's about to happen? I have to respect it. I like it because the time to be bullish is right now. So if we don't do anything, then we know it's bearish. It's just how long is it going to take? That's my issue. I'm not saying I'm going to be right either. I'm just saying every single time we do what we're doing now, we give the bulls the benefit of the doubt and then they lay an egg. It's not my opinion. I mean, the whole video is my opinion, but literally every single time in a bull market, every single time, you go from oversold to overbought, you get some type of pump. We got shit. Nothing. Bearish. Bearish. You know? It's nothing's happening on the big screen, but behind the scenes, it's like a teapot screaming. Eee! The problem is I can't come on here saying the same thing over and over every day anymore. It's kind of like boring now. This guy says the price is in an area where we were accumulating for 8 months and you think it's going to fall below 48K. Yeah, I think we're going below 40K. Doesn't have to go below 40K. But I'm also I really don't even feel like saying that anymore. It's kind of old now, you know. So the nightmare of sideways August will happen. I wouldn't call it a nightmare because August going sideways is bearish. I know I don't feel like saying it anymore, you know. Even for myself, not even just for you guys. Even I'm tired of looking at it. Doesn't it take sellers to push the price down? Can you see how many Bitcoin is on the market to sell versus last time it went down? Yeah, we already did that. That was what Chris was trying to say. Chris was trying to use that as a bullish argument, and the data says it's bearish. When long-term holders hold their coins, the price goes down. That's what's happening right now. When the long-term holder supply climbs in a bear market, it's bearish. The problem is, for some reason, in this bear market, it just started climbing in January, where in the other bear market, it actually started in May of 2021 and at the top in 2017. And I guess technically in the middle of 2020 and 2014, it was the same thing. Yeah, I guess you can compare this to 2014, where the long-term holder supply shot up in the middle of the bear market, but then we capitulated down. That's what's happening now. For some reason, we didn't see the long-term holders or the long-term supply shoot up until the middle of the bear market. So I think we could compare it to right here. You see how the top was in? You see how the top formed? And then this shot up finally? And then it turned flat right here. That could be where we are. And that also lines up with the coins and loss too. We're in the same exact spot. I think it's supply and loss. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. I don't even know. Maybe it is coins and loss. Oh yeah, it is. All right, we're in the same exact spot. Right here. It hit 52, 53%. That's where we were. Now it's down to 48%, but you can look at it from this perspective here. You see how the dotted line is in the same spot? There's nothing really left. Today, we're going to get another 5-day candle. I think that'll give us a lot of answers. Personally, I hope it goes higher. I think if it goes higher, it's better for us because it gives us a clearer indication of where we are. If it crosses down, it could be bearish, but it doesn't have to be bearish. If it crosses even higher, it's still bullish, which means we're still bullish, which is fine. I don't mind that it's bullish. I just don't want to be guessing, is it bullish or is it bearish? Which right now, it's technically still bullish. But if we do nothing for another 5 days, I mean, think about it. We've done nothing for 25 days now. Nothing happened. You're going to get another blue bar. And if you get another blue bar and this goes up again, I mean, dude, at some point, it's got to come down. Or you have to break out. You can't sit here doing this. It doesn't work that way. Cyber Curd for 2. I appreciate the 2. This guy did not just say this like September Clarity Act. Come on, man. You guys, we already had the Clarity Act. Cyber Curd says, any thoughts on MSTR bottom? Well, if I think the bottom is 40K for Bitcoin, then it should be 30% from wherever we are now. So I think 60 to 50 bucks for MSTR. I think 50 to 60 bucks for MSTR. Right? Bottom is 42,000, 32%. Yeah, I'd say like 60 and change, maybe 50. I appreciate the 2. We might be waiting for the QQQ to make a new all-time high. I said that to myself the other day. I'm like, oh man. The problem is I never trust anything. Like, it's possible that we make a new all-time high, but the semiconductors don't. You know? Because personally, I was looking for the semis to come down here. If they go like this, that's not what I was looking for. I really thought they were going to come down here. So if we go up like this, then I was wrong. It's not happening. But the fact that this shit is ripping and these are still in the shitter, you could still be in here. So the fact, I don't even know how the QQQ is going up right now and the semiconductors aren't. Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia. Like, is Apple and Microsoft going up? No, Apple's not even going up. What's pushing that shit up? Microsoft's not going up either. I mean, I guess technically it did go up from down here. Does Microsoft make up a lot? 6%. What is Oh, I guess Nvidia is going up actually. Yeah, it is. Which is so interesting because Nvidia's back at the high. Does Nvidia not take up a lot of space in here? Oh, it's number one. Yeah, that's what's interesting to me. The fact that the QQQ is about to make a new all-time high, but the semiconductors aren't. Which the only two times that's happened was 2024 and I believe 2018. Yeah. QQQ made a new all-time high. I only have SPY on the chart, but SPY made a new all-time high back here, but the semiconductors didn't. The only other time that happened was in 2024. Yeah, here. So maybe we're waiting for the QQQ to make a new high, and that marks the top. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, which I'm not going to sit here saying I wasn't expecting it to go that high, you know. I was open to a new all-time high, but I thought it would be like a little one. You know, like if we just start going like this, I was not expecting that. Which is fine. I don't care about the stock market. I mean, it would be nice to get over there. Get over there. Get over here. But we don't need this to go back to 40,000. We just need something. I was really hoping to hit the 200-week moving average, but if we go any higher than this, like if this shit really starts pulling away, then it's not happening. However, if that happens, which is not what we were looking for, but the semiconductors don't also do that, then we could still get this, which is what we're looking for. I'm not giving up hope yet. I still think this is doable. Maybe it's not going to $50, but maybe it's like 70 or 65. Because the QQQ does, which is why, again, if we do get that, and Bitcoin still doesn't go up, now the market is telling you it's bearish. You know? I mean, look, the QQQ made a higher high and we still went down. Well, I guess they went down together. Well, no. That's what I was trying to say. Even here, the NASDAQ went up and Bitcoin went up with it. But then the NASDAQ turned bearish and we went down. So if the NASDAQ pumps, right? NASDAQ pumping, Bitcoin pumping, we're bullish. The NASDAQ is about to make a new all-time high, and this shit is still not moving. And in 2026, when the NASDAQ went up, I'm assuming the QQQ is the NASDAQ. Maybe I'm wrong, but you see how the QQQ made a new high and we went up and then crashed? Even here, we kind of like broke the high finally. And then we had that spike and then we went down. If that is what's required, fine. I'm willing to accept that this may not be happening. It may not be coming. I'm okay with it. But if we really get this and we still don't go up, then the market is telling you you're going down. Which is why I'm okay with it if it happens. It's not what I originally was looking for, but that's okay because I'm okay with pivoting. My problem with that is that shit could take forever. We could be sitting here for another 2 to 3 weeks, which is fine. It's bearish, but man, that's a lot of time and a lot of money. Master Koozie for 10 says if the bottom was in, people wouldn't be trying to figure out if the bottom is in. Consensus would be 99% that we go lower. There is way too much optimism left in the market. It's that simple. If you know, you know. I appreciate the 10, man. It does help a lot in times of despair. It does help a lot in times of despair. I think the problem this time around is Ben Cowan is the biggest YouTuber and he's saying the bottom's not in. So people who watch him think the bottom's not in. The problem with that idea is almost every other big YouTuber is saying it's a bullish divergence. And if the bottom's not in, we're going to go a little bit lower. Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, BitBoy's old channel, they're drawing the bullish divergence. Even Crypto University doesn't even make bearish videos anymore. He's talking about the bull run. Like, a lot of people have given up on the bearish propaganda. I still think the majority of people are bearish, but I don't think it's as lopsided as everyone who says that everyone's bearish thinks. You can probably scroll through YouTube and see a lot of people drawing a bullish divergence. It's everywhere. And a lot of the trader YouTubers, like that use the market cipher, they're all bullish. They're all drawing bullish divergences. I really think there's a minority. I think the minority thinks we're going down here below 40K. There's like very, very few people that think we're coming down here. I mean, I don't watch everybody, but as far as big YouTubers, almost nobody says we're going down there. You have to actually find people that think we're coming down here. Ben Cowan doesn't actually say we're going to sub 40K. He just says the bottom's in October. There's very, very few people that actually think we're coming down to these lower levels. I think the majority of people think the bottom is a little lower, like 48 to 50K. But I could, you probably can't even name 5 YouTubers that think we're coming down to these levels. I can only name 3 off the top of my head. Well, actually, this guy's, I can name 4. But even one of them, he started talking about DCA. Actually, I don't even know what he's saying now. I haven't been watching lately. Yeah, I found this guy in April. He's got 61,000 subs. He's major support broke Dumperoonie. Nah, we haven't been. Yeah, but sometimes this guy gets too bearish too. But yeah, this guy I think is looking for 40 something K. Like, they're out there, but I think they're the minority. A lot of the trader YouTubers, that use leverage and they trade with the market cipher, they're all bullish. I appreciate the 10. I would say the majority overall probably think the bottom is not in, but I don't think it's as lopsided as YouTube makes it seem. And a lot of Twitter, I don't go on Twitter because it's literally brain rot, brain deterioration, and it's all, I don't want to participate. But I went on the other day and I saw a lot of people saying we're bullish. That Dr. Profit guy said the bottom is in. Killa XBT, I think is his name. He says the bottom is in. Crypto Face is the big YouTuber, or maybe he's big on Twitter. He made the market cipher. He says the bottom is in. And his market cipher is printing a bullish divergence. So all the Twitter or all the YouTube traders that trade on leverage who use market cipher, they're all bullish. I think a lot of people are underestimating the chance that we come down here, which doesn't mean that we have to go down there because of that. But I mean, we just spent the last 2 months plugging in the on-chain data. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're not going down there. That's always a possibility. That's why I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. But I would confidently say that the minority think we're coming down here. I think most people think the bottom is probably between 57 and 48. And then, oh, well, I guess I forgot about Ron Walker. Yeah, that guy's fucking ultra bearish, but he's always bearish. I can't count Ron Walker. I've never seen him post a bullish video. He's always bearish. You and Bear Cohen are the only ones saying the bottom is not in. It makes me think all you watch is Ben Cowen. No, Ben Cowen's the only one that I watch that has a lot of subscribers. I watch some YouTubers that have not that many subscribers. Like this guy, you guys are probably not even gonna know who this is. He's just a random guy, but he's got 60,000 subs. I've been following him. I haven't been following as much because he's a little bit bearish, but and we just haven't been going down. But that's the thing. A lot of these bear tubers are saying crash, 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 but we're not actually doing anything. Which is why I'm starting to realize, like, maybe I should stop watching people and just stick to what I think. I mean, I'm looking for a crash too, but we could just sit here and do nothing. But like this guy, you probably don't even know who this is. But I've been following him for the whole year, basically. Well, not the whole year, but he's looking for much lower prices. Yeah, 61% is not enough. Yeah, see, look, he's got 38K marks too. What a beast. What a fucking beast, dude. 38K. So, like, they're out there. There are people who think we're going that low. It's just the minority. But this guy has a better channel than me. He's got 7,000 views. Oh, I can't see. He's got 7,000 views. I'm not subscribed because I don't subscribe to anybody. That's why if you guys ever see someone typing in the chat that has my name, it's not me because I don't subscribe. And every YouTuber has sub only. And I can't be bothered to subscribe. But yeah, this guy is ultra bearish too. So they're out there. You just got to find them. But the mainstream YouTubers, none of them think we're coming down here. Only the German guy. What's his more crypto online? Yeah, even you know who I was watching today? Satoshi Stacker. Guy's got 400,000 subs. I didn't get anything from the video. I said I'm never clicking on this shit again, and I don't click on it. But he popped up in my feed, so I clicked on it. But like this guy says the bottom is close. Release the bulls. You know, I don't think this guy is prepared for 40,000, which maybe we don't go down that low, but the big YouTubers, I don't think we're going down there. Oh, somebody became a member, so I appreciate the 10. Cyber Curd, welcome to BTC Will. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. There's a guy named, yeah, we already know about Vision Pulse, Fat Boy. He's some Indian guy that lost all of his money on Pepe, and he pretends to be me. So he comes in here with different accounts every time. It is what it is. It's a part of being a YouTuber. If you don't have people pretending to be you, then you're not a popular. I'm not popular either, but obviously I did something to make him love me, so it is what it is. But I can promise you with everything I have that you'll never see me typing in a live stream chat because I don't watch crypto live streams. They're unwatchable. If I ever do watch them, I'm going for a walk. And no one's ever live when I go for a walk. I will admit, I used to watch this guy. Let me try and find him. Him and his friend. I lost their names. What's his name? He's a handsome man with a mustache. I think he has a mustache. Why can't I remember his name now? He merged with his friend. It's at the tip of my tongue. Cryptosaurus, something like that. But they changed their name to something else. Andy Saurus. I can't remember what his name is. But I was watching them for a little while. They were pretty informative. But they trade. Like they trade on the hourly time frame, and I don't do that. I can't remember what their name was because they changed it, but it was Andy Saurus, something along the lines of that. But even him, his YouTube stream had the Vision Pulse Fat Boy in there talking shit. So I had to comment on his video telling him, dude, that's not me. Like that guy just loves to be me. It's a very informative stream, but they do like the 4-hour time frame, and for me, I don't leverage trades, so it's not really that useful for me. I'm not saying 4-hour trading isn't good, it's just not for me. But outside of him, that's like the only live stream I've ever watched. I don't know why I can't remember his name. They changed it, that's why. It was like Andy. Oh, here it is. Mind Pillar Markets. Yeah, they changed. Oh, he does have a mustache. Yeah, this is like the only live stream I've ever watched consistently. But even I don't even watch them anymore. But they trade like the 10-hour time frame, 12-hour time frame. I mean, they trade all the time frames, but I'm not a trader, so I stopped watching. But yeah, even him, I'm not subscribed. I can't type in anyone's chat because I'm not subscribed. So if you ever see someone typing in the chat, it's not me. I don't go on live streams. A real pump to trap the bulls. I mean, personally, I would say it's not. It's the only thing keeping me from saying down. I think we got to hit it. We might have to hit it. I'm actually curious to see what they're saying. Let's see what these guys are saying. Are these guys bullish or bearish?
Do a little bit on the 1-hour time frame. Okay, just look at the picture from a little bit further away and see where price can take us on the higher time frame. It gives people an idea of where.
Yeah, see, they're on they're on like the smaller time frames, which is what a lot of YouTubers do. But for me specifically, I need like macro stuff because that's what I look at, macro stuff. But they just trade both directions, you know? So like when they say bulls in danger, it might just be on the 4-hour time frame. I don't know if they make like macro predictions.
More shorts entering here. Be awesome. Quick stand up, 1 hour. And a little bit distracted based.
Whoa, 28K.
This is what kind of looks pretty nice for Bitcoin, in my opinion. And I would really say that, you know, I think we are very likely developing wave 2 here. So I am leaning more on a lower high in this zone to then, you know, get the last major push down.
Ah, this guy thinks, yes, so he thinks the same thing as me. Yeah, I was thinking that's what we're looking for. Like, where's that missing piece to the upside, right?
The bear market, right, coming into September, October.
So this guy is same as me.
But that's what I think fits best here at the moment.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Till, you know, till we actually see the leading diagonal, right? That is on the
see, I haven't been watching.
formation
All right,
here,
so this
right?
guy
Then
is
we
bearish.
can change our perspective over the 4-hour time and how I am, you know.
All right, so there's a couple there. The bears are out there. You got to find them. But I don't really go on YouTube like that. I don't know. They're out there. You got to find them. Did I hear there was a treasure breach? I don't even know what that means, man. But I think someone said I'm afraid to miss another bull run. Yeah, so then just don't even bother with altcoins. I would say don't even bother with altcoins then. Just buy stocks, not financial advice, of course. I saw stock YouTubers chilling Bitcoin to 40K. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's always going to be people that we don't even like. How many YouTubers don't even know who I am, that I don't even exist? I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I'm just a person with a YouTube channel. There's a difference. I remember seeing an analogy where somebody said, just because you play basketball doesn't mean you're in the NBA. I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I just have a YouTube channel. Like, there's people like me everywhere. There's thousands of us. Obviously, we can't track all of them down. So when I refer to YouTubers, I'm referring to the people who pop up when you search Bitcoin. Like, if you search the term Bitcoin, I will never pop up. It's never going to happen. It's all of these guys. All of these babushkas. Ironically, I pop up, but I think it's because I'm watching my own stream. Damn, my thumbnail looks clean. Like, if I search the term Bitcoin, this guy's always bullish. This guy's always bullish. No, it's Lord Cowan. This guy's literally always bullish. This guy's always bullish. I don't know who this guy is. Yeah, even Crypto University is starting to not post he's not really posting bearish anymore. This guy's always bullish. So when I refer to crypto YouTubers, I'm talking about the people who pop up in my feed. Maybe your feed is different than mine. But the only person I actually search is Ben Cohen. I don't even know who this guy is. I don't know. Well, this is Dan the Man. Everybody knows Dan the Man. Dan the Man, the most handsome man in all the land. I don't know who this guy is. He just pops up in my feed. We know Crypto University, the OG, triple OG. Crypto Lark. He's a likable guy. He's always bullish. That Chinese guy, that slipped. Whoops. Do you get canceled for that nowadays? You know why I think of him? Because when I was younger, there was a mechanic I used to go to, and they look just alike. They have the same haircut and everything. Like I think when I refer to crypto YouTube, that's what I'm referring to. Like the people who show up when you search Bitcoin. If you search Bitcoin, I don't pop up. So you can't count me. But if you have to search the guy's name up, then he doesn't count as a YouTuber. I'm not saying that people aren't grinding, but I don't consider myself a YouTuber. No one even knows who I am. I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel. I like Mega Whale Crypto. Yeah, I believe he's one of the people that also think we're going much lower. Yeah, I found him because he popped up in my feed one day, a couple months ago. Let's see what he says now. Yeah, I remember this guy. Yeah, so here's another YouTuber who's bearish. So they're out there. You just gotta find them. They're out there. Edge of a cliff. Be ready. So they're there. You gotta find them. But I had to search his name up. Which, unfortunately, that's how the YouTube algorithm is. If you're not like a spokesman trying to shill, you really don't show up in the algorithm. But they're out there. The bears are out there. You just got to find them. But I would really argue that the majority of people probably don't think we're going to sub 40K. Sorry, not sub 40K. I don't think the majority of people think we're coming down here. Even the on-chain guys all think we're not going down there, which is very surprising. Like, the guy that made this website doesn't even think we're going down there. I can't remember what his name was. He was like a handsome young man. Like, all the on-chain people don't even think we're going to sub 40K. So it's not really common. What's the bowl cut? I don't know what you mean by bowl cut. I found YouTube channel in 2023. Yeah, this is one of those moments we're gonna look back on. If we get it right, it's life-changing. If we get it wrong, it's also life-changing for the wrong reasons. But man, I don't have anything else to check. I checked everything. Like, even if I take the bull helmet and I put it on, like, I'm just gonna pretend I'm a moon boy for a second. Let's make the bullish argument. That's what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. I can't sit here with a straight face telling you that the bottom is forming when we literally blew through it last time. But that's not what the big problem is. The big problem is a lot of YouTubers are literally leaving out the biggest detail that we used to not even. Here we bottomed on it. Here we bottomed on it. Then we went through it. So if that is going to continue, then we should actually go further away. And people in my live stream come in here saying, well, look at the 350-week moving average. We've never fallen below it. That's the same argument. People are leaving out the glaring detail that you used to not even touch it. Now it's a bottom signal? I don't think so. I think you're going to slice right through that shit. See? You literally used to not touch it. The gap is closing. I think we're going through this shit. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's how I view it. Because you got to look at it like this. I'm pretty sure the tops are getting closer to the 200 moving average too. Actually, I never looked at it from that perspective. If you mark the peak here, how far are you from the 200-week moving average? 300%. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense because the diminished returns. This is why moving averages aren't going to work anymore. Look. We're going to slice right through that shit. That's why, personally, I've been using the realized price because yes, the distances have been getting smaller as well, of course. It's the same concept. But it's not as drastic. Yeah, I'm actually spitting some fucking heat right now. Hold on a second. I never thought to do that. Wait, this guy, dude, how is this guy still giving out food this late into the evening? We never actually measured realized price to the peak. I don't want to confuse my little lambs. The realized price is the blue one. I don't want to confuse my lambs. Yeah, look. Maybe that's why Bitcoin keeps coming back to the realized price, because the discrepancy between each bull market isn't as big as everybody might have thought it is. We went from 360 to 260 to 190 to 128. But if you look at where the bottom is, it's also shrinking, but it's not as drastic. 23%. 31%. I'm only going to count the close here because the wick is a little obnoxious. 33%, 31%, 24%. So I'm thinking the bottom should be like maybe 15 to 20% below the realized price, which if we're expecting the bottom to be in October or November, that should be 44 to 40,000. That's literally what it is. And the fact that the diminishing returns on the top isn't really shrinking that much, I think that's a legitimate case to be. I actually think that's a legitimate argument. I have these jabronis in the chat saying we didn't hit overheated, so it's not going to happen. Dude, what was the excuse in 2021? We went from 262 to 190, and we still bottomed 23% below the realized price. This one was 31%. So maybe it's smaller than 23%. Maybe it is only 18%. 43,000. The problem is I don't know where this is going to be in October. Because when you capitulate down, the realized price takes a shit. You took a shit on the back of the bus. We haven't done that yet. So if the realized price does capitulate down, maybe it goes to 52,000. Now you measure 17% from 52,000 and we're at 43,000. You measure to 21%, you're at 41,000. That lines up with what has always happened. We didn't touch this up here. We didn't touch it up here either. Yeah, I'm maybe I'm too bearish. I don't see how we don't go to like 45, 43,000. I don't see it. And then you start talking about the 4-year cycle and you say, well, 43,000 is only 65%. That really doesn't fit the math. You have to have consistent data. You can't just pick a number and say, well, that's what I think. Could we just be subtracting 7 points? I mean, 7 points is 37,000. Are we taking a percentage? How do we go from 84 to 77? What do you take away? 8%? So what's 8% of 77%? It's like 6. I'm not going to pretend to know, but that's what I've been doing for the last 2 months. And everything I see says sub 50, like 43, 40. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I've been doing. I've been looking at purely the historical data and plugging it in, and everything says 44, 42, 39, 38. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it says. The fact that we're still sitting here doesn't mean it's not coming. It just means we might sit here longer than I thought we would. Which is not, I'm not saying that's a good thing, like, oh, I'm so happy we're still sitting here. But I'm also going to say I am still happy that we're still sitting here because we're sitting here on Bitcoin's chart, but on Bitcoin divided by SPY, it's bearish. You're already fucked. Use my French, of course. C'est fraîchant. My French. My French is all. And then I talked about in the beginning of the stream, I never, oh man, even this is about to cross bearish. It's just tough. It just has to be done. Days like today have to occur where you have to, the market's going to make us question our thoughts. That's what it does best. It makes you question everything. And that's why I was hoping we would have hit that realized price by now, because the doubt creeps in at its peak at that moment. And we've been looking for this move since July, maybe even mid-June. Well, we've been looking for it since this here, so mid-June. It's taking too long now. It's getting ridiculous. But the doubt is at its highest when you're here. I know that for a fact because even I start to doubt. Here, I didn't doubt here. I thought we would go a little bit higher first, but everybody did. Everybody thought we were going to hit the 200 moving average. But of course, when we're here, everybody says, holy shit, we're bullish. And then the trap door shuts, or I guess the trap shuts. Here, it's like, oh, maybe the bull market's not over. Bearish. Here, holy shit, it's a super cycle. Bearish. We haven't had that yet. It's just bearish. But now that it's deep August, I think even I would say shit. But that's why I kind of want it to happen, because yeah, it's going to suck, but once you see this, you just know. You know. You know? Like, you know. Not you know, but like you know that shit is bearish. We haven't gotten that yet. We don't know if this is bullish or bearish. People are speculating that it's bearish, but it's not doing anything. You know that if we come up here and then come back down, it's over. There's nowhere to go but down. You have Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C, Exhibit D, E, F, D, H, I, J, K. It's everywhere. I was really hoping we would have had it by now, but the market doesn't give a shit about what I want. But what I'm saying is, as I say the same thing over and 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 over again, if you put the mind of a bull on your head and you say, well, why are we bearish? How come we can't be bullish? Well, every single time you do this, you go up. So why are we not going up? There's no explanation. Someone's going to say Clarity Act. I'm going to ban them. You guys been telling me about that. Didn't you guys just tell me about the Clarity Act in July? Now we're waiting again until September. I can't say that I know when we're going to go down, but it can't be far from now. We cannot sit here forever. You can't. When we bounce at 48K, you'll realize I was right all along. You'll remember my name. The thing is, I don't think we're going to bounce there. I think if we go down now, we could bounce there. If we're still here and it's September, we're literally going to go straight down. Like, I know I say straight down a lot. It's very overused, but this is telling me it's straight down. Straight. Control, enter, straight down. Enter. Control, alt, delete. It's going to be one of these. Just a big red bar. Straight down. I mean, this is no joke. Now we're on the 10-day time frame. We're about to get a 10-day blue bar. Seen at the top, down, here, top, down. Driving around with the top down. Big red bar. Maybe the bottom's in, we get a big green bar. When you get these blue bars, big bar. Big bar. Holy shit. Yeah, we can't. I'm telling you, dude. I think we're either going 80K or 40K. You're going to get a big one. It's going to be a big one. You ever go fishing and the pole does one of these? Like, normally the fishing pole is like straight and it kind of bobs and weaves. But when you got one of these, you better hold on. You probably caught a rock on the bottom of the ocean trying to pull it up and it snaps. This is a big one, man. This is a big one. Yeah, this is a big one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that shit, dude. Dude, I'm telling you, you guys think we're going to like 52K, man. I think we're going straight up or straight down. We got any 2 weeks? No, okay. You gotta respect the bullish propaganda, though. It's the bullish momentum is still there. It is what it is. The bullish momentum is still there. That's why, even though I'm a bear, I hope the 5-day stock RSI makes another high, because then it's even more bullish. But now you're hitting max bullish. You can't, like, man, if it goes up even higher, now you're forming the top. Which I think it might. I think it might go higher. Even though we made a red candle, I don't think that matters. We had a red candle here. And it still went up. And it would just be the perfect setup because we already had the Moon Boy event. So it's like, it goes higher, we spike up, and then we immediately turn down. Then the trapdoor shuts. I gotta stop saying trapdoor. I guess it would be a trapdoor. Trapdoor shuts. It looks like that's what it wants. If that's what it's gonna take, then so be it. We gotta hit the short-term realized price. But I don't want to come on my stream telling you better get in because we're gonna pump. It's just every time we've ever gone down, we have tagged it. We have. In this bear market. In other bear markets, when you've gone down to the low, you've tagged it. Can we just shit the bed like this? Of course. And then get the bounce? I don't know. I don't think there's enough time for that. There's not enough time for that. I guess if we're gonna go up there, just get it over with. Just get it over with. Banker wins. Banker wins. And then you have legitimate like fib levels down in the 30s, down in the DMs. We already discussed this. I'm not a TA guy, but if I was, I would be a fib guy. Oh, look, there's that guy's entry right here. 49,000. That's the bottom. You break 49,000, there's nothing but hot air until 38,000. There it is again. You buy that level, you break through the 1618, you go straight down. This one was even lower. You may ask, why am I taking my fib from this level? Because this is the last relief rally before we go down to the bottom. You want to use this one, I guess you could. You put your buy order here, 48K. And you just go straight down to the bottom. Our last relief rally was here, from the low to the high. The 1618 is 49,000. We've never bottomed at the 1618. We've always blew right through it. 18,000, 2618, and then here, 3,000. We technically didn't hit 3,000, but we bottomed at the other one. We bottomed in the middle. It would be nice if I could come on here and tell you the bottom is going to be between 35 and 38. Maybe it is. I'm not saying it can't happen. I just showed it to you. It's right here. I think it even happened in the 2014 as well, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's, was it this one? No, it didn't happen in 2014, sorry. It never reached. Yeah, it never reached. We checked, I checked everything, man. I checked everything. Everything I have written down, I already checked. The missing piece is the freaking realized price at 67K. The missing domino. I think now at this stage, even I would be like nervous, which is good. I'm okay with admitting that. Because I tell myself that and I take note of it. And that's why I would be most nervous at 67, 68. That's why the rejection from that makes me say, holy shit, it's about to happen. Because there's no reason why we would come up here and then go down and then go up. There's no way. There's no reason. None. If you want to say inverse head and shoulders, then we'll come down first. If we come up to the trap and then go down, it's over. I was hoping it would have happened by now, but the market wants to drag everything out as long as it possibly can. All right, gentlemen, a whole lot of nothing was said today. I'm out of stuff to tell you. I have nothing else to say. There's nothing left to say. I mean, think about it. We discussed everything over the last 2 months, and we're in the exact same fudging spot. I shit you not, we're in the same spot. So I really think we're missing this. It's the missing piece. I say the same thing over and over again. My question is, if it's not going to happen now, then when is it supposed to happen? Every time it's happened, we had a 5-day overbought stock RSI. 5-day stock RSI hit overbought here. 5-day stock RSI hit overbought here. Literally where it is. So if it's not now, then when? BNB is telling us we're near the end of the relief rally. Oh, it looks like Pepe sold off. I can't believe the summer's over already. Oh, wow. Pepe's getting a little bit bearish, huh? Hold on a second. Let him cook now. Yeah, Pepe's getting a little bearish. Pepe. Papaya. Yep. Wow, look at Mog. The stock RSI is going up. The price is going down. Get mogged, son. All right, gentlemen and the 3 ladies. It looks like we want to go up, but pay attention to the 5-day stock RSI. If it climbs even higher, then you know we're still bullish. But I actually think, personally, because we had our Moonboy chart, this is the last piece of the puzzle here. There's no other reason for us to go up. So once this gets tired, it's time to go down. So keep an eye on the 5-day stock RSI. If it climbs even higher, you know, I'm trying to find an analogy. Like, let's pretend it's Easter. What's the day called before Easter? I don't remember. It was Good Friday. I don't know the name for Saturday. Maybe there was no name for Saturday. But if we see the 5-day stock RSI go even higher, like, we start the timer. And every 5 days that go by that we don't go up, you can start preparing for the move down. That's what I would say. We got the rate, we got the Fed meeting, we got the Moonboy chart. The missing domino is that short-term hold to realized price. And when does it get hit? it gets hit here. It gets hit here. I suggest you use the RSI, not the stock RSI. I appreciate the suggestion, man. Thank you for the 2. I'm assuming you're bullish because you're using the RSI. Which maybe we are. Maybe we're about to go straight up. But the stock RSI says we're bullish still. But the timer's running out. All right, gentlemen and the 2 ladies. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate the support. Appreciate the super chats. We'll be back tomorrow. As always, stay safe. None of this is financial advice. Historically, we have always hit the short-term hold to realized price. You can disagree, that's okay. That's the final trigger to send a move down, I think. Send the price down. It's very, very, it's like right there. It's at 66K now. So, all right, everyone, take care. See you tomorrow. See you soon. None of this is financial advice. Take care.